Hello, my friend, and welcome to another spine-tingling episode of the Disney Travel Secrets podcast. Rob and Kerri Stewart coming to you from the Creating Magic Vacation Studio in beautiful Windermere, Florida. You're listening to episode number 371, original air date March 25th, 2024.
And if you like getting souvenirs on your trip, then you are in for a treat because we have some fun tips this week.
And some of them will save you money. We'll also show you the biggest piece of luggage you can take to bring all of your souvenirs back with you.
Yeah, and some are going to not save you money.
Okay, we're not going to do that.
Let's go there. Take it away, Hugh.
Hello, my friends. This is former Disney Imagineer Hugh Darley, and you're listening to Disney Travel Secrets with my friends Rob and Kerri Stewart. As you can imagine, I have plenty of Disney secrets myself, and I can't wait to share them with you. Let's get this show on the road. Take it away, guys.
Welcome to another week of awesome fun. We are still in Europe. It's kind of funny because we're recording this before we go. So as we record this, we know that when it airs, we're actually still in Europe. So if you're listening to this on the release day, we're literally flying across the pond just to get back home. Does that sound like Bon Jovi?
No, not at all.
What?
I do not know that reference. Oh, okay.
On a seal horse I ride? Dead or alive. Come on. You walked me into
I know,
this.
I did. But I think sometimes it's kind of crazy to think about how mobile our business is, even though we've been in Europe for 2 weeks. And that's one of the reasons why we really enjoy what we do, because we can do it from anywhere. And I love that. As long as we have a Wi-Fi connection, we're good to go. And
a Wi-Fi and a phone.
Yeah. And at the same time, we get to see new parts of the world, which I'm so excited to share when we get back.
So here's the funny thing. We're talking to you guys right now before we go to Europe, but we're going to be experiencing two new countries, the Netherlands and Belgium. Big fan of Belgian chocolate.
I know you are. I'm not.
Huge fan of Belgian chocolate.
I'll probably try it just because I'm there.
Are you serious?
You're gonna try? I did when we were in France that one time. I went to the chocolate and wine thing.
Yeah, and you made that face. I did
not. Anyway.
So we will be sharing, I will say, everything that is our non-Disney travel, like our trip over to Amsterdam and to Belgium. And that is going to be over at Travel Inspired, which is our other podcast.
Yeah. So lots of good stuff over there if you're looking to explore other parts of the world.
And we are on all of the major platforms, and I think 5 of the minor ones. I'm just making that up. I don't know. I don't know if they're minor. We don't know.
So because we do travel as much as we possibly can, picking up souvenirs for us has definitely changed over the years.
And I would say it's gotten smaller.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot smaller. Because we would get
like, oh my gosh, we could take this back. Let's go hang it up on the wall.
Let's do that.
Let's wear this giant Spirit jersey. So it's completely changed. So now, and I will say even back, at the house we moved from, a month or so ago, the whole side of the refrigerator was all of our magnets.
Yeah, so that's what we would get.
And we said we're not going to do that anymore because we needed another refrigerator.
Well, no, that's not what we said. So usually what we do is we get a magnet in each city that we visit if it's our first time there. And it's kind of a fun way to document the travels that we do. Sometimes we'll get an ornament for our Christmas tree.
I do like that.
And so I am working on, though, a big wall for all of our magnets because I'm super proud of all the locations that we've been to.
You've been working on this wall for what now? 3, 5, 17 years? We don't know.
No, I just have never had a big enough space to put it. And so we're definitely going to have a magnet wall, and maybe we'll put it up here in the studio. But anyway.
Oh, we could put it right behind us right here.
Yeah,
for those of you watching on YouTube, we could probably make a giant magnet wall right behind us.
Yeah, but magnets became really, really easy because they're small and they were easy to do.
So in the past, I would get hats.
And I am actually wearing a hat from one of our travels last summer.
Okay, that I know where that is from. That is from the Disney Wonder, and that is the concierge hat, which you can only get if you were staying.
We love hats, but as we've moved a couple times in the past 2 years, we have too many. Even though I just bought this one last year. Why did we do that?
Because
so crazy.
Because you said, let's get a hat. This is, if you're watching us here on video here, it's a nice hat. It really came down to when we were getting ready to move, and I had these giant bins, these plastic bins full of hats. I don't know how many, probably
over 100,
close to a couple hundred.
Yeah,
and
it's
some of these
a lot of hats.
Some of these still have the tags on them. I remember when I used to be on the committee for the Outback Bowl. I still have hats from them where the tag is still on it. I'm like, okay, I just kind of threw it in the bin. So now magnets are very, very easy.
Yes, they are. But you know what? The same thing with t-shirts. And ironically, we did choose to wear some matching t-shirts that we picked up on our Adventures by Disney trip that we did almost a year ago.
Yeah, so our shirts are Walt Disney's Carolwood
Yeah.
Barn, which is open like I think one day a month.
Yeah. But
And it was
one
part
of the
of our-
things we love about t-shirts, though, is that you do wear them and then it brings back a flood of memories from when you were on that trip. And so they are kind of special, but they do have a lifespan. And so I would say in probably 2 years, we won't be wearing these. Just saying.
I guarantee you I still will. I wear
Okay.
t-shirts from 10 years ago. The biggest thing is, though, if you're wearing some kind of a Disney or a travel t-shirt, it starts conversations.
It really does, because people love to travel. Now, one of the things I always loved was when we were little, we would go on maybe one trip a year as a family, but I loved being able to, my mom would say, okay, you can get one souvenir, or I would save up my money to get that one souvenir. And so I would be so particular about what I was going to purchase. And so that was a little bit of what kind of inspired this episode was, when it comes to souvenirs, I think a lot of people waste a ton of money on just buying everything in sight because you are on a vacation high. You are under the influence of Disney. And so everything looks good.
Stop right there. We're not supposed to say under the influence.
Okay. But no, you really are, though, because you get there and you're like, that Loungefly is super cute. I love that. Oh, that little shoulder plush. That would be really fun.
Can I stop you again?
This would be.
You keep using super cute.
No, I don't.
We banned that 5 years ago.
I've brought it back. But no, it's true, though. And if you know what I'm talking about, you're one of those people where you see your child's eyes light up and you're like, oh my gosh, they are so happy with that. I must get it. You get stuck with buying a bunch of stuff. So we have some tips for you on this show to help you plan and prepare for your souvenirs while on your Disney trip.
And if you think about that, though, those things can also end up making you a millionaire when you do your yard sales.
Yeah, later on, it possibly could be. I mean, there are designer Mickey ears. So think about this when you're
Don't
thinking
even
about
go
budgeting.
there. Don't even go there.
No, I'm not a big ears person.
I know you're not. Guess who is? Amanda.
Yeah, I know. We do have a friend who.
Our friend
she's one of
Amanda,
our
I know
agents,
you're listening
yeah.
to this, and yes, she has solid gold.
They're not solid gold.
They look
No,
like
she does. She does the Heidi Klum. But no, that's the thing, though, is that there are designer Mickey ears that are upwards of $1,000. And so
Still to this day?
still to this day. So this is why we say when it comes to souvenirs, you need to choose wisely. And if they're within your budget and you love them and they speak to you, then by all means, go for it.
You know what, though? This comes back to a question we hear on not just Disney, but any type of vacation in general. And the question is it worth it? And I will say, if you can afford it and it doesn't affect, your ability to, make lunch and go to work and pay your electricity bill, if it makes you happy, do it. But don't try to crowdsource that like we talked on the last episode. Don't try to crowdsource, oh my gosh, should I get this? Because everybody's going to tell you, oh my gosh, you should get this. And the only reason you should do that is if those people are chipping in to help you buy it.
Yeah, right?
But so we used to go to a place called Sid Cahuenga's.
Yeah, we
And-
love
and
that
it is
place.
now-
It's so good.
It is now, I don't know what it's called.
It's gone now. It's called Sid Cahuenga's now. But what they would have in there is they would have like a lot of memorabilia, stuff from the movies. They would have autographed posters.
Coincidentally, there are some of those things on our wall.
Yes. And it was a really cool souvenir place for us and a very expensive one.
I will tell you, so what they did, it used to be originally backed by the Star Tours, or not the Star Tours, but the...
Well, they replaced it. It was up front,
it was
and then
way
they moved
back.
it by the Great Movie Ride when that went away.
Right,
So
so-
it was one of those.
So
it
they
was
moved
like,
it.
yeah.
If you go into Hollywood Studios, it's now right off to the left as you walk in. I would say almost every single time as we were getting ready to leave the park, we would go to there and just go, oh my gosh, look, this is Mickey Rooney's autograph. Okay, technically I did buy that one. But the other stuff, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a ticket from this. We would start
It
buying
was
stuff.
really cool, though.
So whoever at Disney made the decision to kind of shut down Sid Cahuenga's and change it from memorabilia to whatever they do now, I would literally like to thank you and personally shake your hand, because I promise you have saved me tens of thousands of dollars, because we would just like walk by and go, we're going to get that for the next time.
Yeah. So one of the reasons we're doing this episode is we don't want that to be you, where you walk out and you're buying things that you weren't anticipating and it kills your vacation budget, unless it's something that really speaks to you. But those little tiny souvenirs, forget the big ones we just talked about, they can really add up.
Like
and so,
the pins?
Yeah, let's say you start with something as simple as we'll do a little pin trading. That can escalate very, very quickly. Let's just leave it at that.
On the pin trading side, you really have to know your pins. You have to know what your pin is worth and what the one that you're trading for is worth. And
it seems like such an innocent place to start.
I know. It's like, so if you don't know, I would say the true value of the pin that you're trading, probably do a little bit of research before you do that.
Yeah, for sure. So what can you do to prepare yourself before your Disney vacation to purchase souvenirs? Because you are going to want to get some things to help you remember it. So we have a few tips here. Number one is talk about the souvenirs before you even leave the house.
That's a good idea.
And this is something that when I traveled with my parents, it was just known. If you find one, you have one thing that you can get. And so you weren't always kind of going to go berserk and just think you're getting everything. And I was telling you about the story where I was so excited about the one thing I was going to get when we went to California.
And it was Disney.
And we were at Disneyland. We only went twice growing up. And I remember my mom, and I'm not going to blame her, but I know that the weather was really, really cold and we weren't ready for it. And so
you say you're not going to blame mom, because I will call her right now.
No, but what happened was she's like, I need to get sweatshirts for the kids because they're going to freeze. We did not pack right. And so I got a bonus souvenir because I got a Mickey sweatshirt and I love that sweatshirt.
Wait, was it a Spirit jersey?
No, they didn't have Spirit jerseys way back then. But talk to your kids about souvenirs before you even leave so that you set the expectation of what they can and cannot purchase.
So number two is take pictures of the things that you think they might want to get. So if you're walking through and you're like, oh my gosh, this looks really good, take a picture, because you might find something later that they want more. And then you can kind of take those pictures and compare and say, okay, here are the 5 things you took pictures of. Which one do you want?
And I love that one. Now, number 3 is use gift cards for your souvenir purchases. And the reason you do this is you can preload them with a set amount so that you don't go over budget.
Okay, that's brilliant. You tell your kids you have $25 or you have $50 and you empower them to control how they spend it. And it's like, oh, well, I want this. Well, I don't know. Here's your card.
Exactly.
It's like Bill Engvall. Here's your sign.
There you go.
You have this much to spend. I think that will not only kind of train them for Disney souvenirs, that could be a life skill that you train them. If you have the money, you do it. If you don't do it. So I think that's a huge tip.
I love that one. Okay, number 4 is keep your freebies. And by this, we mean those festival passports, the Disney maps, if you're doing Memory Maker, download all of those photos. There's tons of little things, like you can go and do the little Dory scavenger hunt over at the aquarium. You can ask for stickers from the DVC booths. So you can get a lot of free things, keep them, put them in like a cool little frame. And that is another really, really cool souvenir that is very, very inexpensive.
So that's a great idea, is you can take the park maps and you can turn those into pictures you can put on the wall, and your kids are going to go, oh my gosh, I've been there. I've done this. And yeah. Number 5, skip the gift shops.
Yeah. And this one's hard to do because a lot of the rides, they end in gift shops. And here's why they do that is because after you get off like Tower Terror, you're like, oh my gosh, I love that ride. And now I want to buy Tower Terror stuff.
I want to buy the full uniform with the hat and everything for Halloween.
That.
I know they do.
No, they 100% do. So you 100% want to be careful. Just, put your blinders on and skip the gift shops.
And last but not least, ship the souvenirs back to your house. Don't think, oh my gosh, maybe you came down to Disney and you did carry-on only, and you're like, oh my gosh, I have 3 or 4 or 5 things I want to ship back. Ship them. Do not bring extra luggage to take your souvenirs back home.
Yeah, because that costs you extra money.
It does.
And you know what? And if you do have a budget and you find a lot of souvenirs that you like, Disney can help arrange shipping them back to your home, and you can enjoy them, and they will pack them up and make sure that they're not getting broken. And there are so many cool things to buy at Disney, and we get it. Sometimes that's like what you want to do when you're down here. And so if it's within your budget, go for it, but just kind of plan ahead of time.
Disney, they are the masters of getting you to spend money that you don't want to spend. You'll see something and you're like, oh my gosh, how did they think of this? Trust me, I know how they did that. But it also comes down to make sure you're buying something that is meaningful to either you or your kids. And I think, to me, again, for us, it's magnets, because we can look at the never before built wall of something you're going to.
Back when it was just on the refrigerator, which still was kind of cool though. I'll see like the Grand Californian magnet and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love that resort. It's like one of my favorites. Or even the ones from our international trips.
And the DVC magnet. So
yeah,
make sure it's something that you're going to remember and has meaning, not something that you bring back to your house or you ship back to your house and you put it in a box. And that box ends up in a closet. And 5 years later, you move to someplace else and you're like, oh, wow, look at these Disney things we bought and we never
used them. Yeah, we may have been there and done that. So you know what? For fun, let's do something kind of fun. Head on over on social media and either go to our Super Fans or Disney Travel Secrets Facebook page, or even over on Instagram, tag us with what one of your most favorite souvenirs has been from one of your trips. And you'll know which one it is because you use it, you have it out, and you see it every day. But I would love to see what some of yours are that you have from your trips.
I would too, because I want to see, we have our own categories. I want to see what our friends have as it could be a shirt, a hat, a t-shirt, whatever it is. It could be a poster. Maybe you take some of the posters you buy and you put them on the wall. So yeah, head over to all of the non-social media places where we happen to exist. It's gonna be
all the social media places we exist.
The non-social.
No, they are social.
Oh, okay. It's going to be Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
Again, thank you so much. You have so many different choices of where you can spend your time. You chose to spend it with us.
And if we can help you with your next Disney vacation, please reach out to us or one of our Creating Magic Vacations travel advisors.
Until next time, have a magical day.
We hope to see you real soon.
At the parks. Come see us at the parks.